Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, listeners slash sinners. Uh, I'm back. Sorry, life's been kind of busy as of late, and obviously I've been some gooning. Got to climb that ranks on the jerkmate ladder. Because that's a thing. But the reason why I'm back and making another video is because I'm a lover of many things and a gooner of many things. Like maybe a little Leon Kennedy, sweaty abs, pictures, maybe some Luna from Hell of a Boss, and thinking about getting a life-size doll of her. And stay with me on this one, okay? Little spicy one for the audience, for you guys. Winston from Overwatch. Oh yeah, baby. Him gulping down some bananas, that so happened to be covered in peanut butter. But we're getting a little off topic, as you know. I'm a lover of many things. One of them just so happens to be cars. And no, not like Cars, like the movie with Lightning McQueen. But then again, I may just found some new gooning material. Yeah. Some Lightning McQueen. Ooh. And that baddie in the back, Mater. After I'm done, he's going to be known as Master Bader. So, to start, why we're here, we're talking about cars. Well, let's talk about a Jeep. And not just any Jeep, but also rubber ducks and how they are connected. And one of the sweetest car things that I know and learned about. And so shall you too. Firstly, what is a Jeep? It's a car. Duh. Dumbass. Gentlemen, this is a bucket. Oh, fuck! Gentlemen, this is a Jeep. Dear God. There's more. No. Gentlemen, this is a duck. Dear God. So, Jeeps. Some people love them maybe a little bit too much. Maybe like how Oprah loves bread.
I love bread. I don't deny myself bread. I have bread every day. I love bread. I have eaten bread every.
And some cases, people hate them. Especially the modded versions. They just look so bad. But I'm sure in your life that you walked around or drive around as one does, and you've seen a Jeep, maybe with some rubber ducks on the dash. Regardless, let's talk a bit of the history of the Jeep, and then we'll learn about the history of the duck. Later, and even later, the thing that is Jeep duck. Or duck jeeping, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think I remember correctly. But let's get into it. Now, let's take it back to the past. Or shall I say, it's rewind time?
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Most of the information I got from is Wikipedia. Now, if you think I lost credibility just because I mentioned that, then you can move on. But finish this video first, please. During World War II, Electric Boogaloo, the actual name of a Jeep, was started as a slang term, but it wasn't like a bad one. It was more like a term that people use for like new recruits coming off the boat or new vehicles or equipment or such. But that all changed when in 1941 they introduced the light military 4x4 vehicle, aka the Jeep. Now, there were two Jeep made by two auto companies at the time because of Bantam. I can't pronounce it. Bantam Company didn't have the means of mass production for a war, so they sent the design to Willys and Ford, and they made the Willys MB and the Ford GPW. Now, if you ask me, if Chevy made the Jeep, we would have lost the war. Yeah. Fuck you, Chevy owners. Chevy. But both models were nicknamed Jeep or Willys Jeep, and soldiers in World War II loved the Jeep. Was a symbol of American ingenuity and productivity, and was used by soldiers in all theaters of the operation. So, with that part of the history of the Jeep gone, now let's learn a little bit of the rubber duck, shall we? The rubber duck. Funny enough, it was called, now hold your applause, hold your breath, the rubber duck. Now, it was in the late 1800s, this was invented, but it was made easier to form and shape. The ducks themselves also, it was linked in the late 19th century with the emergence of rubber manufacturing, but the easiest version of the ducks were made with hard rubber. So you're telling me a duck that is hard? When they used Charles Goodyear's invention, vulcanized rubber. Consequently, these solid ducks, the rubber ducks, was not capable of floating when they were first invented. They were more intended to be used as chew toys. But the sculptor by the name of Peter Gowan created a sculpture of the duck in 1940s. He painted it, he painted it, but he also patented it soon after and repurposed it as a floating toy, and 50 million ducks later sold. We got the rubber duck. Well, look at that. Two informations of two different things down. Look at that. We're on a roll. Well, would you like to know some rubber duck facts? No? Well, fuck you then. How can I mama bird the info into your ear holes if you don't want them?
Not cool, dude.
Too bad. You're getting the info regardless. Fuck you. So, the first fun fact about the rubber duck. The Sun, a British tabloid, reported that Queen Elizabeth II had a rubber duck in her bedroom that wore an inflatable crown, which, if true, that is adorable. The duck itself was spotted by a workman who was repainting her bathroom. The story prompted sales of rubber ducks in the United Kingdom to increase by 80% for a short period. But I'm sure that everyone's wondering, is the rubber duck still around? Most likely. Queen Elizabeth II? Not so much. She's dead. Dead as hell. What shoes she's wearing? We don't know. But she's dead. Oh, man. The second cool duck fact that I got from Wikipedia, which is the world's largest rubber duck. It was created by a Dutch artist, which I am not going to pronounce because Dutch. So I'm going to put the name right here on the screen. Yeah, look, that's the name. Yeah, interesting. Try pronouncing that. I dare you. But in 2007, obviously, he made a rubber duck. It was measuring 16.5 meters by 20 meters by 32 meters, and weighing about 600 kilograms. But for us, freedom-loving, burger-eating Americans, it's about 1,300 pounds, and it was 54 feet long by 66 feet by 105 feet. Or how much your mom weighs. And third time's a charm. There's one more fact. Just kidding. There's two more, but this is the third one. So, in Freiburg, Germany, they hold what is called a rubber duck race, known as the Derby Duck Race. It has been used as a method of fundraising for organizations worldwide, and people would donate to organizations by sponsoring a duck. At the end of the fundraising drive, all of the ducks are dumped into a waterway, which the first to float past the finish line wins a prize for its sponsor, which is a really sweet thing if you ask me. The last fun fact that I'm going to give you before we move on to the next thing is in 2013, China's implemented the Great Firewall. And one of the things that was blocked was Big Yellow Duck. Because the Chinese activists were photoshopping Robert Duck's sculptures into the Tank Man photo of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. There we go. Sorry. My mouth is just fucked. If the term was searched, Big Yellow Duck, a message would appear stating that according to relevant laws, statutes, and policies, the result of search cannot be shown, which means China, they can't have memes. And if we're counting numbers, that's 1 point to the US of A. Suck on that, Winnie the Pooh. Oh man. Alright, so we're about 3/4 of the way through, and my voice is kind of going, and my mouth is parched. So it is the obligatory coffee break. So headphone users, enjoy. I love you guys. Mwah. Cheers. Fuck. I almost spit that shit out. Good coffee though. Alright. That was good. Alright. Let's continue. The practice of Jeep ducking, or duck. Jeep originally started in a small town in Canada in 2020. Because, of course, it's Canada. They do a whole lot of nice things. And a woman named Alison Parliament, which, yes, that's an actual name, and yes, I got it from the Jeep story, and I practically just copied and pasted for the script. And it started in Ontario. She randomly bought a bunch of rubber ducks from a convenience store and gave one to another Jeep owner with a note saying, "Have a great day," which is very sweet. And the intent was to bring a smile to the individual and spread a little cheer. That was all we needed during the pandemic, which is a very sweet thing to do. And the small interaction turned out much better than expected. The Jeep owner walked out of the store and at first was confused, and he saw the rubber duck being placed on his Jeep. However, after reading the note that was left behind, left a huge smile on his face. That night, he put #DuckDuckJeep and was born after posting on Instagram, and the rest is history, which is very sweet. And with that, the history of three things: the Jeep, the duck, and the Jeep Duck. And it's a very sweet thing that I didn't know. And I always wondered when I saw a random duck on a dashboard, especially for Jeeps. I always wondered about that. And so obviously this is what the video is all about. But also, I'm going to give you what I thought, just randomly, because I thought it was funny. And I honestly started theory crafting that the reason why they had like ducks on their dashboard was maybe they were a secret society of swingers, or even worse, some My Hero Academia fans. And it's just me being kind of stupid with it. But this is the end of the video, and I just want to thank you for making it this far, and I do appreciate you. I hope you liked the video, and obviously leave a like, share it. I don't care, but I hope you enjoyed it, and above all, I hope you took something out of it and learned something that you may have not known. And like I said, thank you. I'm probably going to go back into a slumber, maybe some gooning. You know, progress never stops until you get to number 1 spot on that ladder. Oh, man. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like it. And I will see you in the next video. You have a good one, listeners/sinners.